Who's ready? I said, who's ready to party with me tonight? I said, who's ready to have a party with me tonight? I think I'm about to drop some truth bombs up on you. Tell me what you're gonna do when I drop the truth upon you. Are you gonna be able to handle it? The truth might drive you crazy. I said, do you want me to drive you crazy? I think I'm about to make you and me and everybody just a little bit crazy. Let's get the show started right now. Smash those thumbs up and we're gonna toskishi this boskishi. If you know what I mean, ski. Hit the thumbs up, we're about to get started right now. All right. All right. Well, all right. You guys know what to do. Smash the thumbs up. We're going to light it up. All right. I'm not going to get too high because I have a lot of stuff to talk about. We got a whole lot of show to get to. So we can't go getting too high. Otherwise, I might forget to do the show. I might forget what I'm talking about. I might just ramble on and never actually get to what it is that I meant to say. I was gonna bust some shields, but then I got high. Yeah. I was gonna talk about the flat earth, but then I got high. Yeah. I was gonna talk a lot of shit, and I know why. Yeah, because I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high. All right, smash those thumbs. You guys know what time it is. It is Jake the Asshole Live time, and I got a whole lot of stuff to say. So, with that being said, let's get it on. I want to see 40 thumbs up to get us started. 40 thumbs up. I see 32. Let's get 40, and then we're going to get started. I'm not even going to start until I see 40 thumbs up. All right, I see 37. We are almost there. This whole thumbs up thing, you guys have to do your part. You have to stroke that algorithm, smash those thumbs up. All right, here we go. And away we go. All right, let's let the show begin. Let's let the show begin right now. We done toked it up and now it's time to get crunked up and get punked up in this motherfunker. I don't know if you're about to know what I know. Maybe you already know what I know. I'm about to tell you what I know. We'll see if you know what I know already. All right. So, I actually have a big list of topics just to show you guys. I put in my work. See, I have all this stuff to talk about here. It's quite a bit of shit, so we might be here for a little while. This stream could be a lot more in depth than you might imagine it to be. As the title says, the flat Earth is one of the most gatekept subjects of all times. All times. And what it comes down to is, why are we here? What is this place? How did us, humans, people, how did we get here? And again, why are we here in this place? And what is this place? Just those questions alone, you might think you know, but you only think you know, because those are the most gate-kept questions in the world, basically. What is this place? What is this life? Why are we here? And where did people come from? These are the most gate-kept subjects of all time. And you better believe the people at the tippity top probably know the answers, or they're probably a lot closer than us, the little slaves down at the very bottom. So what you have is a bunch of sheeple and slaves walking around thinking that they know what this place is, a spinning ball in outer space. They think they know why they're here. Random luck, evolution. They think they know where people came from. Monkeys. Again, these are the most gate-kept subjects of all. And so when you bring up the shape of the Earth, and whether or not the Earth is a spinning ball, whether it's flat, whether it's concave, or whether it's some sort of simulation. Hell, the shape of Earth may be imaginary. But if you bring up this subject, they have measures in place to gatekeep you, gatekeep your subject, gatekeep your ideas. I have proven this, that the subject is gatekept. I've proven that there are shills. I've proven there is a such thing as Earth-shape agents. I have proven that. I've also proven I am not one of those. I've proven I'm a dude who doesn't know what the shape of the Earth is. I'm a dude who doesn't know exactly why people are here. I'm a dude who doesn't know where people came from. And I'm one of the only researchers who's honest with my audience about that. In fact, I'm hard-pressed to find anyone like me anywhere. A researcher who admits I don't know what the shape of the Earth is, but it's definitely not a spinning ball shooting around in outer space. That I'm sure of, as most of you are sure of. But the minute you even think that the Earth might not be a ball, just thinking that, they have an entire cult and a fake map and a fake model ready to intercept you. And a lot of people who consider themselves woke will walk right into a cartoon map trap made by the same globe. That AE Flat Earth PSYOP map that we all probably fell for. Many of you here in the chat probably fell for it. I did. Hell, some of you still can't get off that stupid PSYOP map. Some of you still think you're surrounded by the ice wall and every single direction is south and the sun magically just goes around in a circle. No, it does not. And then when you figure that out, then you come to my conclusion, well, then what is the true shape? And that's where you're going to go bang your head up against the wall. Because to try and figure out where you live, how big this place is, how far do the boundaries go? Is there a boundary? Is there an edge? Is there an edge to our reality? Can something like the Earth possibly go on forever? Is it really bigger than what we're told? For you to try and figure these things out as a regular person, you're going to find that travel is restricted, of course, due to stuff like the boogeyman disease. You know, you might get spiky balls going up your nose. So we can't have you getting on a plane willy-nilly. And of course, ever since the buildings came down, they also use that to restrict travel. And so between restricting travel from back when the buildings came down and between the boogeyman disease, soon it won't be long before regular people aren't allowed to go anywhere or do anything. and people will willingly stay home and not go traveling around, not go exploring, because they'll think they already have it figured out, and they'll be afraid that they might die of the spiky ball disease. So if you look at what's going on right now with the spiky ball disease and the fact that they want to give everyone a little jabberoo, well, it doesn't take a genius, or maybe it does take a genius like myself, to point out, hey, this could all be directly related to the shape of the earth. Did you ever stop and think all of this stuff is related? Yeah, the shape of the earth related to this. It all comes together. The same bad guys at the top that sold you the globe deception are the same bad guys at the top that sold you this. Get it? Got a donation from Tony Yeo, says, love you, brother. You are one of my favorite truth, buddy. Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate the donation. Donations like that help keep this channel afloat. It helps keep real truth alive. I do appreciate it. I am an independent thinker, an independent comedian. I am independent from Hollywood. I have absolutely no contracts. So these donations, even small ones like that, go a long way. So I appreciate that, sir. All right. So back on the subject. I actually think that the shape of the earth is one of the most gatekept subjects of all time. And the reason I think that is because I have talked about the shape of the earth for years here on YouTube, and I have seen a whole lot of strange shit happen to me and to people around me and to my subscribers. To this day, they remove subscribers from my channel. Willing subscribers that want to be subscribed are getting removed against their will from my channel to this day. Now, I've heard many YouTubers say that their subscribers are getting unsubbed, but they literally will not allow my channel to grow. Right now, they're only letting my subscribers watch my videos. They're not recommending me in any sense of the word. In fact, this is one of the most shadow banned truth channels that you can find. Just the other day, they turned the comments off on my Full House video. They disabled the comments, and then I went back and then turned them back on, and then I took a nap and then woke up to find that they turned them off again. So twice YouTube turned my comments off on my Full House Exposed video, and it killed the views. And so when I uploaded that video, I noticed that they removed like 30 subs just right off the gate. When I upload videos, I can literally see my subs just disappear. And then they also disabled comments out of nowhere on my Full House video, which also killed the views and caused people to maybe want to unsubscribe because they think I'm censoring their comments or not letting them comment. So some people are like, why did you turn off the comments? You're such a shill. It's like, guys, YouTube is removing your comments. YouTube is disabling my comments out of nowhere. That's a first. And they've been unsubbing people for years. Do you realize my channel should have like 400,000 subs, not 40, not 40,000. I should have like 400,000 subs. There was a time where every single day the channel just went up, 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 up in subs. And now, no matter what I do, no matter what kind of content I release, even if it's like a 90%, 95% approval rating, they just take away my subs. They just take them away. And then if I don't post anything, they'll let me have a little bit of my subs back. And so if I don't post anything for 2, 3, 4 days, they'll start slowly handing me little bits of subs back. And then the minute I post a video, they immediately will take between 10 and 50 subs immediately. Now, there's those of you out there who don't make content. So you'll think, oh, well, that's just because people are just choosing to unsub from you. No, that's not what's happening. They're not just choosing to all at once, 50 at a time, right the second when I upload a video, all choose to unsub from me. And then meanwhile, the video has 95% thumbs up. So basically, this channel is highly shadow banned and highly manipulated. And still, I get a shitload of trolls and scumbags who show up in the chat, and their job is to say the exact opposite of whatever I say. Whatever I say, there's still trolls and scumbags who show up and go, nuh-uh, nuh-uh, to whatever I say. Got another donation that came in. Says, I still couldn't comment, so I'm trying this. I don't know what you mean. Why, if you can't comment, then how did I? Well, I saw you. I see you that you donated. So if I can see your donation, then you're commenting. So thanks, Mike, for your donation. I can see your comment. I have slow mode turned on, and you have to wait 20 seconds in between comments. I do that so that shills and trolls can't just like spam my comment section. Mr. TNGMZ82 with a donation says, if it's not in a book, then it's not up for discussion. So here's how it goes in a nutshell, y'all. In a nutshell, inside your nutsack's shell, the shape of the earth is one of the most gate-kept subjects, and here is why. The powers that be don't want you to know where you really live, how big it really is, what the shape really is. They don't want you to know, obviously. They don't want you to know why humans exist. They don't want you to know where humans originally came from, how they don't want you to know. So if you're walking around thinking that you know, like, oh, well, I read the Bible, so I just know stuff. Or, oh, I watched this one guy tell me on YouTube, so I know. Or, oh, science, mainstream science says this or that or the other, so I know. To me, if you're thinking that you know where people came from, how people were created, what the shape of this earth is, how big it is, if you think you know that stuff, well, chances are you're a brainwashed idiot. In my opinion, a true intellectual should come to the same conclusion I have and say, hey, we've been lied to about so much, about every subject. I think the intellectual thing to think is that you don't know, and you have to admit that you don't know. So I admit that I don't know in many circumstances where shills will want to feed you disinformation. So I admit I don't have a working map or model. The earth seems to be flat. I mean, the mountains are bumpy. The water seems to be laying flat. So it seems that the water basically lays flat and is not conforming to a spinning ball and is not conforming to the inside of walls of a concave earth. So it seems like water is laying flat. It seems like, but I can't give you a working flat earth model. I can't give that to you. And so people automatically want to go back to the cartoon PSYOP flat earth map. And that's how you end up getting stuck in the cult with scumbags like David Weiss and his flat earth app. Join my app. I want to track you on my app. Get the app, get the app, get the app, get the app. Wah, get the app, get the app. So if you're not careful, you'll end up on a tracking app being tracked by David Weiss because you think you live on a pizza pie map that was rolled out for you. So because I'm smart enough to know I don't live on the pizza pie map, I constantly get asked, well, Jake, then what is the real shape of the earth? Jake, what map do you use? I don't use I don't use a map of the whole earth because I don't have a map of the whole earth. So I don't use one. And I've actually tried with the circle map to move the continents around a little bit, change some of the shapes and sizes, and still you're going to run into the same problems. You can't light up a circular map properly throughout the year without having the shape of your lighted area change. So your sun would have to somehow create a circular portion of light, and then it would somehow have to create a half pie shape of light, and then it would have to somehow also create this shape that doesn't make any sense, where it lights up the entire outer ring of the pizza pie map, which just isn't possible unless you start making shit up, like reflections off the dome. And so what you have is a cult of shills and useful idiots still promoting the same debunked nonsense while thinking that they are the counterculture of the globe. Meanwhile, I'm one of the only truthers who's ever took on the flat earth subject and pointed out to you guys that the AE map doesn't work and the globe doesn't work, and I don't know what it is. I'm basically one of the only truthers that leads you to that actual truth. That it could be flat doesn't seem to be a spinning globe out in outer space. So what is it? I don't know. And so some people get mad at me for admitting that I don't know, and they want to go follow a guy who says that he knows, like Eric Dubay. They want to go follow a guy that says that he knows, like David Weiss or Jaron. These guys just tell you that they know, yet they're using the same debunked shill map that all the shills use. Furthermore, all the shills are sworn to only talk about certain subjects, and they're not allowed to talk about other certain subjects. Like, for instance, all the shills are basically pushing veganism. All the flat earth shills basically all push veganism, and none of them will whip out a piece of raw meat and eat it. None of them. Why is that? Why am I the only one who goes against the AE map and who will whip out a ribeye steak and take a bite? Why is that? Isn't that weird that I'm the only one that will take a bite of a raw steak out of all the flat earth leaders, quote unquote? Why? Why am I the only one who's figured this out? Could it be because they're shills who want you to eat plants like a slave? Yeah, that's why. Tony Yeo of the donation says, what is underground? Hey, good question. There could be a whole different world underground. Your imagination is the key. Just imagine what sort of evil shit could be down there. And if you can imagine it, well, then you better hope somebody with unlimited funds never thought to do any of that evil shit down below. So if you're thinking of like cloning children so that you can abuse them in all sorts of ways, yeah, they probably have a place that does that down there. So here's somebody in chat that says, Jake, stop. And so guess what? That person right there is going to be hidden from this channel. Yeah, see? Don't judge me. Says Jake, stop. A lot of you guys are fake truthers. You're not actually woke. A lot of you guys still think that raw meat is gross. That eating raw meat is gross. It's not gross. It's not. It's not gross. If you think it's gross, you are fucking mentally ill. Everybody who makes any sort of throw up emoji or says that me eating meat is gross, I'm going to extinguish you from the channel because you're fucking mentally ill. I'll bet you that you probably go out and eat fast food, yet you think what I just did is somehow disgusting. I'll bet that you have a blender and you put kale and other Frankenstein unnatural, man-made vegetables, which actually kill the environment and kill animals, you probably eat that shit and think that that's what makes you a healthy human being. You see why I am the actual real dude and why all the shills promote the NWO death diet? You see why I can prove it? Watch. I can take the meat, I can eat it. I'm going to be alive tomorrow and not sick, not going to die. I can keep doing it over and over again and I'll be fine. Meanwhile, Jaron and David Weiss are promoting trail mix. They're shilling trail mix, slave shit, unhealthy slave shit. So how can you spot a flat earth shill? Oh, I don't know, if they use the AE map and then they promote the vegan diet and then they tell you to buy trail mix. Yeah, that's one. So David Weiss and Jaron are both promoting the same trail mix company. They want you to buy trail mix. They want you to eat trail mix because they're in bed with the company. The company pays Jaron and David Weiss to shill the trail mix. So obviously they're getting a cut of that trail mix money. Here's the deal. I'm a man of morals. I'm a real truther. And so I'm not going to tell you to go eat some fucking trail mix. I'm not going to tell you to order trail mix through me. I'm not going to tell you that if you go down below, you're going to get 10% off my trail mix if you use it. You know why? It's because trail mix is bullshit. What's trail mix? Let's see. Peanuts, crap. Yeah, crap, anti-nutrients. Seeds, crap, anti-nutrients. Raisins, dried up sugar. Some sugar. And then they have like usually in trail mix they have like M&Ms too. There's like some random fucking M&Ms. So dried up fruit, which is not nutritious, and peanuts, which aren't nutritious, seeds, which aren't nutritious, and M&Ms. That's what's in trail mix. And that's what David Weiss and Jaron are shilling over on their flat earth channels. You know, the PSYOP guys who push the tracking app also want you to eat their trail mix. Because they're totally not shills. They're totally not actors. They're totally real dudes like me. Except they want you to eat trail mix and download the app. Get the app, get the app, get the app, get the app, get the app. Trail mix in an app. Does Jake the asshole tell you to download a tracking app? No, I don't. I tell you to not download a tracking app. Does Jake the asshole tell you that you should go eat trail mix and then offer you trail mix that I'm selling you? No, I'm not even telling you to go buy this certain company meat. So I'm not even telling you to go buy any sort of food product that's related to me in any way. I'm not actually making any money on telling you to eat meat. I'm just telling you to eat meat because it's healthy and it's the right thing to do. So I personally don't get sick and I feel great most of the time. In fact, the only time when I don't feel great is when I drink too many damn beers and smoke too many damn bowls and stay up too damn late. And then break my own rules and eat too much junk food. That's the only time I feel like shit. If I drink beers all night long and then eat a bunch of fast food and junk food, that's when I feel like shit. On days where I avoid that behavior and eat raw meat, I actually feel amazing and full of energy. And I have no reason to lie to you. I've done this over and over again, and you've never seen me like sick and dying. You don't see me with big, gigantic bags under my eyes, right? For a 38-year-old man, I look pretty damn good, right? Almost 39. Powder Dry says get the 5 types of collagen. You'll get all the collagen you need if you eat meat. Yet Brian, High Impact Flicks, wants you to eat some lab-made powder crap because he gets a cut. Hey, George, thank you for the donation, buddy. I appreciate it. So right now, if you were to go look at your flat earth cult community, how many of them eat raw meat? None of them. Basically none of them. And all the quote unquote leaders, all of them promote a vegan diet. They might not all of them openly say that they're vegan, but none of them promote eating raw meat. None of them promote being a carnivore. None of them promote meat eating of any kind. Uh, Jake Iana Reno says, "Yo, come on my TikTok live and help me mock the C1 Niner cultists." I actually got two of my videos removed from TikTok. I started a TikTok and then I put up like a little bit of content. And then anytime I criticized a female on TikTok, they would remove my video. And so I actually removed the app and haven't been on there in a while. I was thinking of getting back on there and just using it as a promotional tool, but I get disgusted by the videos I see on TikTok. So I have to look at it as only a promotional tool. Like, okay, Jake, you're only getting on here to promote the asshole channel. And so I only look at stuff like TikTok as a promotional tool. I can't watch the videos because it makes me just want to like put a gun in my mouth. It's just absolute cringe. And the women on there, holy crap, so cringy and annoying. It basically, TikTok makes me hate women now. Like I'm disgusted with women because of TikTok. But that's another story. So basically, this meat thing, one of the biggest conspiracies is your health. And what they want you to do, what the elites want you to do, is compromise your own health. They want you to be a mentally ill slave and eat absolute trash. And for the most part, they have their wish. And if you think you're going to get healthy, they want you to think that you're going to get healthy by eating a bunch of man-made plants. And when I say man-made plants, basically like stuff like kale, broccoli, you're not going to find it. You're not going to go out in the woods and find broccoli. When I tell people that, they roll their eyes. But it's true. Have you ever went on a hike and found broccoli? Have you ever went on a hike and found kale? Have you ever went on a hike and found eggplant? Have you ever went on a hike and found any of these Frankenstein vegetables that are in your supermarket? Tony Yeo says, I love the live stream. Please more often. You know what? I need to stream more often. I enjoy live streaming and it pays better than me making regular videos, which always get demonetized. So I actually make way more money by doing live streams and I say way more stuff and it seems more enjoyable for you. So honestly, I should probably start doing a daily live stream. The only reason I don't do a daily live stream is because I get lazy and I also like to just have whatever I feel like doing in my day, just be whatever I feel like doing. So I don't structure myself, but I need to structure myself. So in 2022, which is now, I'm going to start structuring myself a little more and forcing myself to go live more often. So you will get your wish, sir. Thank you for the donation and your wish will be granted. More live streams coming at y'all. They're shadow banning my regular content. So basically, the live streams are getting more views. I'm making more money, and I'm saying more truth. And so basically, live streams are going to be the new thing. And I'm going to improve this. I know I've been saying it, but I'm going to improve all this. All right, let's get back on topic. Okay, so flat Earth, the subject that started this here channel, what got this here channel off the ground, is still one of the most gate-kept subjects. And they have the same shills doing the same shit. For instance, you have old Eric Dubé telling the same shit that he was saying 5, 6, 7 years ago. So if you were to watch Eric Dubé videos from 6 years ago and then watch him now, there's no difference. He hasn't changed his mind or changed his opinion on anything. If you go back and watch me 6 years ago, I wasn't eating raw meat. This is something I figured out over the last 6 years. I figured out eating raw meat is healthy and good for you over the last 6 years. So that's something that I changed and figured out. Whereas Eric Dubay and all the shills still pushing the NWO death diet, still pushing the shill psyop map, the AE map. They don't grow and change and become um, evolved people, if you will. Now, when I say evolve, I mean mentally. Um, so if you look at me from 2017, if you literally go back and watch me 2017, I was going across the United States setting up flat earth gatherings, and I was happy go lucky. You're a flat earther, I'm a flat earther, let's all get together and sing kumbaya around the ice wall. I love flat earthers. Are you a flat earther? Oh great, isn't it awesome? And see, I had this happy go lucky attitude, and also at the same time I was eating mostly all fruits and vegetables because I was convinced that killing animals was bad, and eating rotting carcasses were bad. And so I actually convinced myself to basically almost go vegan. I never fully went vegan, but I almost did. And I cut out most all meat and dairy and was eating fruits and vegetables. And if you look at me, I had bags under my eyes. My cheekbones like were sticking out because my face was basically sinking in and turning into a skeleton. And I weighed only like 125 pounds at one point. I actually lost so much weight that there was a girl who I was sleeping with at the time who was like, what's wrong with you? Like you're losing a lot of weight. And I was like, oh, I just it's because I eat this diet where I don't eat dairy and meat. And she was like, something. It doesn't. You don't look good. You've lost too much weight. So my family actually started to notice that I had lost so much weight that they started to say stuff. They started to call me skinny. They started to call me bony, and they started to actually like make little comments. And when I finally looked down at the scale one night and I saw that I was 120 pounds, I was like, holy shit, like I need to put on some weight. And so I had to actually go back and start consuming dairy and eating just more calories in general, including meat, to start putting that weight back on. And then once I found spherage, spedia gotis, and Ajunus wonder planets, eating raw meat, that's what led me to try eating raw meat for the first time, drinking a raw egg for the first time. And then I found out that that actually is, through my own experiments with my own body, that actually is the healthier way to eat. So I use my own body as the experiment. I tried eating mostly plants and fruits and cutting out meat and dairy. And my body started to consume itself. I started to just lose a bunch of weight, feel like shit, not have much energy. I was malnourished, clearly malnourished. If you go back and look at me in 2017, you can see that I don't look as good as I look now. I look better at 38, almost 39 years old than I did back in 2017. I clearly look like I'm younger now than I was in 2017. Go back and look at my old videos. Speaking of my old videos, I posted all my old videos back to public. So you can go back and watch basically all your flat earth asshole favorites. In fact, if you've never seen the Flat Earth Asshole classics, I recommend you go back and watch some of my old Flat Earth Asshole material from 2016. Go back and watch the 2017 material. Watch my versus videos. Go back and check out who I am, where I come from, and what I have done for the topic Flat Earth. In my opinion, I am the greatest flat earther of all time. And if that bothers you, again, go back and look at my content and then try and match it up to anyone else. You will find, if you go back and watch Flat Earth Asshole from 2016 when I started until now, you will see I've done more for the topic than any of the so-called leaders. And all those videos are up in public for you. For instance, you'll never see Eric Dubay go out on the streets and do any sort of activism because he never has. And somehow, over all these years, he's gotten a pass for never doing any activism. In fact, I'm the only one who actually went out on the streets and did any real activism and got any actual real results and positive interactions. If you go look at the shills, all they did was go to conferences. They didn't go out on the streets and do actual activism. They didn't go to open mics. And then if you look at the low level shills, like Authentic Intent, who's a convicted rapist, he would go out on the street and almost get into fights and almost get his ass kicked and cause a scene. If you look at other guys, there's another one who goes out on the street. Wits Gets It. Same deal. Oftentimes he gets into arguments. He gets into these volatile situations where people want to kick his ass and people don't even want to hear about the subject. And so when you look at the people who are promoting Flat Earth now, none of them hold a candle to the Flat Earth asshole. None of them. If you look at my music that I've created, my versus videos, if you look at the Flat Earth Asshole Classics, I was clearly the most popular and greatest flat earther of all time. Clearly. And so it's funny to me when I see these shills nowadays want to try and talk shit about me, when it's like, dude, you can go look at my old content. It's there. Go back and watch my old versus videos. Flat Earth Asshole versus Bill Nye. Go watch it. Flat Earth Asshole versus Neil deGrasse Tyson. Go watch it. Flat Earth Asshole versus Joe Rogan and Mick West. Go watch it. And then go look at all the other Flat Earth quote unquote leaders and look at the video content that they've made over the years. It hails in comparison. Look at my music videos. Look at my Flat Earth music videos. Look at the activism I did, and look at my versus videos. If you just go back and watch the old content, clearly, without a shadow of a doubt, I was the most entertaining, the funniest, and the best damn Flat Earth content creator that there ever was. And to this day, I still post Flat Earth content, whether you like it or not. I still posted the most recent proof that I know of. I posted an old proof from 2017. I reposted it. And to my knowledge, nobody posts Flat Earth proofs anymore. So if you go try and find anyone even posting any Flat Earth proofs, no one does it. So the video that I posted, which is an old proof, across Lake Ontario, you see the Toronto skyline, and you see the Rogers Center, which should be hidden by the Earth's curvature, and it beats Mick West's curvature calculator. I reposted that old video, and it occurred to me that nobody nowadays is even doing Flat Earth experiments. Nobody nowadays is posting Flat Earth proofs anymore. And so the subject is partially dead in the water because there's no new real people doing anything anymore. The only people doing anything in the Flat Earth subject are shills. And then me, the one real guy, basically. So you basically have mostly all shills in the subject, which again leads back to my title. It's one of the most gatekept subjects of all time. So the shape of the Earth and talking about it and having a serious discussion is in itself one of the most gatekept subjects. And they have a bunch of dirtbag, scumbag shills there to intercept you. And they come in all forms. Oh, you don't like Jaron and David Weiss? Oh, well, maybe you like Eric Dubay. Oh, you don't like Eric Dubay? Well, maybe you like RV Truth. Oh, you don't like RV Truth? Well, maybe you like Santos Bonazzi. Oh, you don't like Santos Bonazzi? Well, then maybe you like Bro Sanchez. Oh, you don't like Bro Sanchez? Well, maybe you like Dell, who hangs out in the shed in Scotland. Oh, you don't like Dell, who hangs out in the shed in Scotland? Well, maybe you like Dan Pratt, who hangs out in his garage and blows his ass all day. Oh, you don't like him either? So they have somebody for you. They have some sort of flat earth shill ready to gatekeep you and your thoughts. They don't want you talking about it. They don't want you becoming an influencer. They don't want you to become me. You guys know I was one of you, a watcher, a YouTube watcher, and then I became a content creator. And now here I am at this point, and I'm disassembling and exposing men I once respected. I once loved Eric Dubé's channel. I used to love Eric Dubé's material, and now I can't stand the guy. He's totally at the top of my flat earth shill list. I have a flat earth shill list. Eric Dubé is definitely one of them. He's an Illuminati dress wearing NWO death vegan diet promoting shill bag, still promoting the same broken AE map, reading a script no less. I've pointed out that he doesn't do any flat earth activism. He doesn't go out on the streets of Thailand and preach flat earth. He doesn't go to open mics in Thailand. He doesn't do anything as far as promoting the flat earth. He just does his script reading, and his scripts are most likely handed to him. And so I ask people, how come you never see this man go live and talk to you like I'm talking to you now? Jake, just because people don't talk about flat earth like you do doesn't mean they're shills. There's always somebody who wants to give them a pass. They want to give them all a pass. And so you look at guys doing these television interviews and doing these radio interviews. I never got offered to do all these interviews, even at the height of Flat Earth Asshole. At the height of Flat Earth Asshole channel, when I was getting hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views, basically, I never got these offers to do all these interviews. But when you look at Mark Sargent, he was like, oh, I have to do an interview. I have to do 10 interviews today. Oh, yeah, I'm going on TV and doing an interview. And then I'm going to go on these 4 radio shows and do an interview. Everyone just wants to interview me all the time. So busy being interviewed. And now who's the new Mark Sargent? David Weiss is the new Mark Sargent. And what's he always talking about? Oh, I had to do an interview today, and I need to talk about the app. I had to do an interview, and then I went to another interview, and then I did another interview, and they all want to know about the Flat Earth app, the Flat Earth Friend Finder, so I can turn on the camera and spy on you, and I can steal your information and sell it. Get the app, get the app, get the app. Wow. And there are still people falling for this shit. Falling for it. I get to be tracked, and I get to find other flat earthers, and you get to monitor who I meet and where I meet. It's like David Weiss gets to monitor your flat earth meetups, and he gets to know who's meeting up with who hangs out with who. And that doesn't cross your mind at all that like he's tracking you, that like he's able to access your information. He could steal your information and sell it. Like, doesn't cross people's mind. Instead, they're like, I'm a flat earther and I'm lonely and I want to find other flat earthers so we can hang out together. Like, how can you be that gullible? How can you be that dumb and still consider yourself woke? And so, just because someone figures out that you don't live on a spinning globe doesn't automatically make you a smart cookie. Because if you're dumb enough to download David Weiss's app, if you're dumb enough to follow a dress-wearing Illuminati shill like RV Truth or like Eric Dubé, or listen to a lying scumbag like RV Truth, if you're dumb enough to fall down those rabbit holes, then that means you're not woke. That means you probably still think broccoli is good for you. You probably think drinking your own piss is a wonderful idea. And so a lot of the truths that I like to speak are forbidden by these flat earth shill bags. And the reason that the truths I like to speak are forbidden by flat earth shill bags is because they're shills who don't have your best interest at hand. Tony Yeo says, can you sing a random song, please? A random song? All right. Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg, the Batmobile lost a wheel and the Joker got away. Hey! Thank you. Was that random enough for you? All right. All right, let's sing a Jewish song since we're on a Jewish platform. Let's go ahead and sing us a Jewish song. Dreidel, 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 I made you out of clay. Dreidel, 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 you're big and fat and gay. Hey! That's my favorite Jewish song. And that I just made up off the top of my head. Now people will be like, Jake, does that mean you're a Jew? No, it doesn't. It does not mean that at all. It just means that I'm a comedian who likes to make shit up off the top of my head. That's what that means. uh, all right. Here's a guy in chat that says that's a South Park song. You didn't make that up at all. Yeah, the dreidel, dreidel, dreidel made you out of clay, but then I said you're big and fat and gay. South Park didn't say dreidel, dreidel, dreidel made you out of clay, you're big and fat and gay. The big and fat and gay part was made up by me, dipshit. So I said dreidel, 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 I made you out of clay, which I did see on South Park. But then I used my own creativity to say big and fat and gay. Understand, rubber band? So that's my original joke, and you can piss off, loser, hater, bitch. Go start your own channel and try and be funnier than me. I'll bet you suck at it, which is why you're here watching me, because I'm a professional funny guy. And here's another thing I want to straighten up. I am a professional comedian. I see the laughing emojis over and over and over and over again. People tell me in the comment section how funny I am all the fucking time. So every 1 out of 1,000 comments, somebody will say, "You're not a professional comedian." Yes, I am. I say funny stuff and I get paid for it. That makes me a professional comedian. Understand, rubber band? If you don't think I'm funny, why are you here watching me in the first place? Ask yourself that. And why are all these other people all laughing? Are they just laughing at me? No, they laugh along with me when I want them to. Understand? Rubber mother freaking band. So all you people who like to say, "You're not a comedian." Yes, I am. Just because you think losers in Hollywood who are hacks, who tell scripted jokes, just because you think those people on television are actual comedians, doesn't mean I'm not a comedian. I'm an independent comedian, and I don't do shitbag stand-up comedy clubs because I've done shitbag stand-up comedy clubs, and let me tell you, it sucks for the most part. Most comedy clubs, and especially the bottom to mid-level of comedy, it's absolute dog shit hack level work. And all the comedians at that level are dog shit hack comedians. And so to hang out with dog shit hack comedians and go to dog shit hack comedian clubs and perform for sheeple audience who watch a bunch of television and expect television mainstream comedy, it's basically an art form that's been ruined. So I don't like to do mainstream bullshit Hollywood stand-up. So that's why you haven't seen me on an HBO special or any mainstream Hollywood bullshit television show. So if that's your idea of what a professional comedian is, it's because you're a brainwashed idiot who's watched too much television and you think that people on television are the only ones capable of being a professional funny guy. No. Or you think that someone doing stand-up is a professional funny guy. Not in each case. There's plenty of guys who get up on stage and do comedy gigs, but they're not funny. Bob Saget, if you go watch his comedy routine, it's not very funny. Not very funny at all. In fact, it's mostly just lowbrow shock humor jokes. And furthermore, when I exposed Bob Saget, I was a bit disturbed by how many of you came along to support him and stick up for him. And so you have comedians like Bob Saget, who basically his whole comedy routine was lowbrow shock humor jokes that don't actually involve a real punchline. You can't name a comedy bit that Bob Saget did that was actually funny. What's he most known for outside of Full House in America's Funniest Videos? Oh, that one time he said he sucked dick for Coke on Half Baked. He sucked dick for Coke. How funny. How funny. How funny. And then when you look at his Hollywood peers, they all call him a pedo. So if you look at all the Hollywood scumbag comedians who hung out with Bob Saget or who know Bob Saget, they all joke around and call him a pedo. And they all basically made jokes at his roasts about how he hit on the Olsen twins and he was always groping and touching the Olsen twins. And basically all his comedic buddies at his roasts called him a pedo, and he laughed and the crowd laughed and everyone thought it was so funny. So funny to make pedo jokes in 2022 now, and everyone thinks it's just so funny to normalize the abuse of children. So funny. And so when a guy like Bob Saget dies, and then a guy like me points out, hey, this is a shitbag who all his Hollywood buddies say is a pedo. And if you go back and look at his behavior, it's that of a pedo. And if you look at his routine, his stand-up routine, it's all just shock humor, garbage jokes, and pedo material. For instance, Bob Saget would get up on stage and be like, hey, I want to stick my pinky in your butthole. I want to stick my pinky in that guy's butthole. I want to stick my pinky in everyone's butthole. Ha ha ha. I'm Bob Saget. You remember me as that guy from that Full House show, but now I like to stick pinkies in buttholes. Ha 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 ha. Pinkies in buttholes. Ha 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 ha. And so everyone in the audience would be like, oh, he used to be on Full House, but now he says pinkies and buttholes. And he talks about fucking children. Why is this cool? Why is that funny? Why is this an accepted form of humor nowadays? And so when he fake dies, people are like, oh, what a tragedy. A comedic genius. Like Bob Saget died. He was such a comedic genius. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He wasn't funny at all. He was nowhere near a George Carlin. Nowhere even in the same ballpark, in the same vicinity. A guy like Carlin is like light years ahead of a comedian like Bob Saget. So if you look at Bob Saget's material on stage, what is his famous, most awesome joke that you know him for? I'll wait. What's like the most iconic thing he ever said? That he'll suck some D for some Coke on the movie Half Baked. What a comedic genius. When you look at the dude, he probably did suck a bunch of D for Coke many times, among other things. How funny is it really? Whereas me, a legitimate comedian, can actually take the horrors of the world and actually deliver it to you in a funny way while avoiding low-level, terrible subjects like boinking children. You guys notice that the flat earth asshole basically has no boundaries. Jake the asshole, whatever you want to call me. I don't have any boundaries when it comes to comedy, and I can say whatever the fuck I want. But there's certain subjects that I don't talk about because I don't find them funny. There's certain subjects I find sickening. So you're not going to find me doing a nice 10-minute bit about pedo shit. Now you go watch a mainstream comedian like Louis C.K. He'll do an entire 15 minutes about pedo shit while everyone in the crowd is like, so funny, so funny. Yeah, they want to normalize this perverted behavior. So today's comedians are bought and sold. They've sold their souls. And so they don't have a problem doing 10, 15 minutes straight just telling nasty pedo jokes while a bunch of losers in the crowd laugh and yuck it up like it's so funny. Here's the deal about comedy. Having no boundaries and talking about all sorts of sensitive, controversial subjects is good for comedy. Doing a bunch of lowbrow pedo jokes that are based around abusing children, bad idea, in my opinion. Not something I want to do or be associated with. So when I exposed the actors on Full House and Bob Saget specifically, I was a bit disturbed by how many of people showed up in my comment section to defend these scumbags. Jake, bro, Bob Saget was funny. You're reaching. There were people who told me I was reaching when I did my Bob Saget exposed video. Jake, you're reaching, man. Bob Saget was just a funny comedian. So some of you people who are pedo sympathizers, I'm just going to block and ban you. So if you show up and you tell me Full House was a wonderful show, Bob Saget was a wonderful, funny man, I'm just going to assume you're a sicko and I'm going to get rid of you. And if that causes you to unsub from my channel, good. Those are the people who I don't want around. YouTube actively unsubs people from my channel who want to be subbed. I don't need sickos who are going to stick up for guys like Bob Saget and Hollywood pedos. So again, somebody like Bob Saget is considered a professional comedian. Hey, Bob Saget here. I want to stick my pinky in your butthole. Hey, I want to stick my pinky in your butthole. Pinky in your butthole. I want to touch your kid because I'm Bob Saget. So that's perfectly funny and acceptable, and people call that a professional comedian. Meanwhile, I do actual real comedy, physical comedy, and also cutting edge genius material. And I still get people showing up in my comments section going, "You're not a comedian. You don't have a Hollywood contract. You've never done an HBO special. You're not funny like Bob Saget. You're just jealous. You're just trying to make money on Bob Saget's death because you're jealous." Yeah, man. It's just jealousy. Just trying to make money on his death because I'm so jealous. Yeah. Because it's my fault. Because I'm such a bad guy. Because he likes to diddle kids, and I pointed out I'm a bad guy. So for those of you who came and stuck up for Bob Saget, whew, I feel sorry for some of you people. Still haven't seen through the Hollywood matrix yet. Still idolizing celebrities. All right. Oh, what else did I want to talk about? Talked about Bob Saget. All right. Maybe we'll take a few questions from the chat, but first things first, I want to see 175 thumbs up. Right now I see 148. Let's go ahead and get to 175, and we'll take a teensy hit. A teensy one, trying not to get too stony baloney. If I get too stony baloney, I start trailing off, losing my focus. So I want to get just the perfect amount of stony baloney. I'm going to load up this hit. I see 169 thumbs up. 69. I want to see 175. Come on now. Do it. Do it. Said do it. Do it. Do it. All right. You guys follow direction well. And remember, this is for the algorithm. We're trying to stroke that algorithm because the algorithm hates us over here. We're super duper mega shadow banned, and so we have to show the algorithm that we're playing ball, man. People are watching, people are enjoying it. This is what real people really want to see. So we got to send the message to YouTube that we're having fun over here. We're digging this content. Jake the Asshole content is wonderful and deserves the thumbs up and deserves an algorithm stroke and deserves to be seen by the world. And the only way we're going to make that happen is by each and every one of you slamming that thumbs up button, okay? And if not, it just makes me feel better. And if it makes me feel better, well, that's worth it. All right, here we go. It's like, oh, the piece of weed jumped out and landed on my foot. The piece jumped out of my bowl and then landed on my foot. More bounce to the ounce, yeah, baby. More bounce to the ounce, yeah, mama. More bounce to the ounce, yeah, baby. More bounce to the ounce. Get on the dance floor, baby. No doubt, mama. Oh, yeah. I ain't never, ever, ever seen a sexy thing like you, baby. Ooh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me tell you something, people, right now. Zapp and Roger in the building. Sorry, guys, I tapped into some old Zapp and Roger there for a second. That's one of my favorite old funk rap groups. It's not really rap. It's more like funk, hip hop, dance music kind of stuff. Love those guys. All right. So, I'll go ahead and take a few questions from the chat, take a few statements from the chat. I don't like to ignore you guys, but I have to barrel through my material so that I can stay focused, because I notice if I start reading stuff from the chat while I'm trying to make a point, that I get thrown off. And so a lot of times I have to ignore the chat, and then say what I have to say. And then at the end, circle back around and take questions at the end. So that's what we're doing now. Take some questions here. Someone says it looks like I have a runny nose. No, I don't. Might just be that I look like I do, but I don't. Hey, is your nose running? Well, then you better go catch it before it runs away. All right. Into the Break says, why isn't Pantera a band anymore? Well, that's easy, because the Abbott brothers are dead. So you can't have Pantera without the Abbott brothers. There is no band without the Abbotts. Now, whether or not Dimebag actually like died for real, or whether he was some sort of like Illuminati fake death, that I still haven't quite figured out. There's some weird stuff about Dime's death and so I can't quite say for sure if he's really even dead. And then when it comes to his brother, then who knows about him? So when it comes to Pantera, they are a band that signed their soul to the devil, and it's basically in their music. And you can see the old performances before they sold their soul. Then you can see the performances after they sold their soul. And you can see during some of the live performances, they're basically like summoning the beast, summoning the demon. And so I go back and forth between loving Pantera and being creeped out by Pantera. It's like Pantera represents this awesome machine of a metal band, and at the same time, I feel like they sold their soul to the devil, and that the music has um, devilish tones, if you will. And so there's these dark undertones to the music that actually I don't like in a way. But then there's a part of the music that I love and I can't get enough of. And so I actually have this weird deal with Pantera. If I go back and watch a live show, a part of me is like, yeah, yeah. And then another part of me is like, oh, they're summoning the demons. It's the devil's music. I don't know if I should like this. So I actually have an internal battle of whether or not it's okay for me to like Pantera. I don't know if any of you guys have an internal battle of whether or not to like something mainstream. You might have the same feeling about movies. Like there's certain movies that have an evil message, a satanic new world order message, but the movie's cool and entertaining and you like watching it. And so there's an internal battle I have when I listen to a mainstream band like Pantera. And the battle is like, is it okay for me to like this? Mama Lula in the house says, just tuned in. Hi, Mama Lula. How's it going? You basically missed me talking about flat Earth gatekeeping and all of the different tactics gatekeeping shills use. And then I also ate some raw meat earlier and talked about how much vegans are wrong. Mama Lula says, I have no internal battle. I am obsessed with Justin Bieber, so hate me. Hey, pop music has its elements that appeal to a lot of people. And so when they make these pop music hits, they're written with the intention of being hits with mass appeal. So a person like Justin Bieber, uh, he has people in the studio who will coach him and help him and make sure that the product produced is that will have mass appeal. So the music itself by these pop stars is created to have mass appeal to women. So basically, the money ticket is to have appeal to young girls because young girls will not only buy the music, they'll follow the clothing trends and all that good stuff. And so basically, young girls are the target audience. And so you look at somebody like Justin Bieber, they specifically targeted the teenage girl, young girl audience. And then those girls grow up still liking him. And then he ushers in new young fans. And he has his older fans now that are adults who still follow him. And so I actually understand why people like these artists. I understand why, because their music was created to basically appeal to you. And so when you have independent artists, basically such as myself, I never went out of my way to write music specifically for teenage girls and young girls. So I never specifically set out to appeal to that exact demographic. And I also didn't have millions of dollars behind me to help push me and my character. And so when I look at these pop stars, a Justin Bieber, a Miley Cyrus, a Britney Spears, they had an entire industry behind them. They didn't just like wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to write this song and then I'm going to get these people to dance with me and we're going to do it all this way. They basically have an industry behind them And the industry behind them does a lot of the work. And so you can have a talent who's good at singing, and then you can literally coach every single lyric out of their mouth. So you can have somebody like Cyrus, for instance, in the studio with a black dude who will coach her and be like, "Okay, sing this next line like this, baby," and then she'll do "baby," and he'll go, "No, no, no, do it again, but this time go, yeah." And so I've actually seen these black producer singers who get these. I shouldn't say black, like they're not always black, but I've seen these R&B producer guys get these Hollywood talents to sing these parts one at a time, and then they get this collage of singing parts together, and then they can make a mainstream hit out of it. So you can take a talentless hack like remember when Jessica Simpson's little sister Ashley Simpson, she was a singer for like a year or whatever, and so they can take a talentless hack and still get them to sing little parts and take the recordings and patchwork them together into a pop song. And so you can have a talentless hack, a Kim Kardashian, a Paris Hilton, and you can, with the assistance of a professional singer, coach them into singing something that is God going to be sold to the mass public, and the public will buy it up and eat it up because they're trained to like bullshit. It's hard for me to like totally explain it out into detail how it's all done, but basically somebody like Justin Bieber can be trained to sing a certain way, and he can get as many takes as necessary, and he'll have somebody there to sing it for him and show him exactly how to sing it. And then he has groups of musicians and video editors and video makers all around him to help him with all that shit. And so they can take a person like Justin Bieber and turn him into this worldwide gigantic superstar. Whereas if you take away all his help and just stick him out in front of us, he's really not that talented of a boy. He's really not that talented of a dude. So if you were to take away his help and stick him in my position, Jake the Asshole's position, say you're an independent musician, well, let's see what you got now without the Hollywood help. Let's see you be the star you are supposed to be without all that Hollywood assistance. And that's when you see that these people generally aren't quite that talented. You take away the choreographed dances, and a lot of women pop stars don't have much talent. They can barely sing their own songs. In fact, most women pop stars lip sync their own songs. So you take away Madonna's dancers, you take away Lady Gaga's dancers, you take away their elaborate costumes, and what do you have? You don't have that much talent. Mama Lula, I know he's a good singer. I know that. I know he is a good singer and he can sing some notes well. That example, like you like him, he is a good singer, yes. But if you go look at, let's say, a song like Yummy, uh, that is pushing a pedo vibe, in my opinion, a song like Yummy. And if you look at the way he's dressed and acting and what he's doing in the video, it pushes a certain image upon children and a certain message that is pretty much evil. And so if you're going to stick up for the guy and say he's a good singer, I'll admit, yes, these people do have initial talent. The same way Louis C.K. is an amazing stand-up. Right now, he's using his talents to tell pedo jokes. So Justin Bieber, yes, when he was a little boy or a little girl, I don't even know if it's a little boy, it might be a little girl. So it's a little boy or it's a little girl. Either way, they do have singing ability. It's the fact that they sign their soul away to the devil, and they take place in this demented pop music, and they're around a bunch of sleaze bags. That's where they become evil entities. And so he may have started out, um, or he or she may have started out with the best intentions in heart, but once you sign your soul away and you start participating in this evil Hollywood industry, you become one of them. And furthermore, there are people who suggest that Justin Bieber's playing a dual role as the Weekend. And so, if Justin Bieber is playing a dual role as the Weekend, that means he's deceiving people and he's pretending to be a black guy, and he's not coming out and telling us that he's also the Weekend. So, if he is indeed playing a dual role as the Weekend, that means he's a Illuminati deceiver. It's no different than let's say Bill Gates' wife, Melinda Gates, being played by Kevin Kline. It's a deception. Uh, Aurora says they groom them from birth. I agree. I think a lot of these pop stars nowadays are groomed from birth. So back in the day, 60s, 70s, you actually had some talent scouts actually going out. And even into the 80s, you actually had talent scouts going out trying to find like good rock bands, trying to find talent. But now they create talent and they groom talent. And so I've even heard a conspiracy theory that Katy Perry is John Benet Ramsey. You guys ever heard that one? That Jean Benet Ramsey, that kid who supposedly got killed by her parents, they say Jean Benet Ramsey is, at least I've heard this through conspiracy theory, Jean Benet Ramsey is today's Katy Perry. Now, if it's true or not, I don't know. So when it comes to these child performers, just look at some of the damage done to some of these people. Look at Britney Spears, what happened to her in her career. Look at the Olsen twins. Look at Lindsay Lohan. If you look at a lot of these pop performers and actors and whatnot, um, you can see the devastation. You can see that Hollywood has gotten to them and beat them down. You can see the deterioration of their body and their soul and their mind. And so when I look at some of these washed up Hollywood stars and whatnot, I see their soul has been extinguished. They no longer carry around. They're like a lifeless, soulless bag walking around, still trying to live off their old fame. Nicole Sword says, all from Disney. Thank you for bringing that up. You actually reminded me. Do you guys remember the penis on the cover of Little Mermaid? Who here remembers there was a penis on the cover of Little Mermaid VHS cassette tape? When Little Mermaid came out on VHS cassette tape, there was a castle on the cover, a big golden castle with a big old penis in the middle of the castle, hidden in plain sight. The artists who did the artwork for The Little Mermaid for the VHS cover included a penis in the middle of the golden castle. And so a lot of you probably remember that. And so when the word got out, hey, there's a penis on the Disney cover of the VHS movie Little Mermaid, word got out, parents were outraged. They were like, what's this penis doing here? And so the Disney guys who did the artwork actually had to get outed, and they actually pulled the cover and re-released it without the penis, of course. So enough people were outraged that the penis got removed. Nowadays, stuff slips by so often, nobody notices, nobody gets outraged. And so stuff like this is still happening. It's still happening. They're still slipping in a bunch of pedo stuff and a bunch of nasty satanic Hollywood shit. They're still slipping it in there. They're just getting away with it a lot more often. And it's been normalized to the point where there's a lot less people who care. So You have people sticking up and supporting Bob Saget and supporting the behavior of the cast members of Full House and how they treated those young girls and child actors. So this behavior, sick behavior, has been normalized, purposely, of course. And when you look at Disney, they pretty much are wanting to buy and acquire most anything that children watch. And so it won't be long before anything mainstream that children watch is owned by some sort of Disney corporation. And they have a history of doing some really sick satanic shit, but a lot of people give them a pass because they like the movies. So how can you sit and put, one of these Disney movies on for your child in the back of your mind and forget that they had people putting penises in there, you know, long ago. They have they have things that they say and do in the movies, in the script, that basically are loose. Um, they refer to pedo stuff in the movies through the script and through clever writing, so they can get children to say certain lines. They can get characters to say certain lines that could be misconstrued a certain way, could be taken a certain way, if you have a certain mind to decipher the things that they're saying. And so, if you have, let's say, somebody who is a sicko who's watching, they'll pick up on this sort of thing. They'll be entertained by this sort of thing. And so, we were getting from Disney, in a way, like entertainment for not just children, but for sickos. And I remember as a kid not even liking Disney movies that much and wanting to watch real movies because by like 8, 9, 10 years old, I was getting bored of cartoons and I wanted to actually watch real movies. I wanted to watch people shoot each other like Terminator and Rambo. So I actually got tired of watching cartoons when I was younger. But there's so many women, especially, whose childhood is basically based around these sick movies. And so there's women who are adults in their 20s and 30s who want to go to Disneyland without their kids. They don't even want to take their kids to Disneyland. They just want to go hang out at Disneyland as an adult. Have you guys seen this? 20-year-old women, 30-year-old women, 40-year-old women, 50-year-old women going to Disneyland or Disney World as an adult, not even with any kids. They don't even have any kids. They go and hang out at Disneyland as an adult. They're still caught up in the fantasy. That is high level brain damage. If you're an adult woman and you want to go hang out at a cartoon castle that's been built to real life, like, that's weird to me. Like, you want to go hang out in Cinderella's castle and play pretend and you're a 30-year-old woman? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? And so I see women who grew up with that Disney fairy tale in their mind, and they basically shun normal men because they're not these tall, strapping Disney characters that they think they deserve. So a woman who grew up watching Disney movies like Little Mermaid and Aladdin and Cinderella and all this crap, they'll think that they deserve this amazing, strapping, awesome, tall, handsome man who's going to come along and sweep them off their feet. And they're going to have that Disney fairy tale, oh my God, heartwarming, I'm so in love moment. And they're going to live happily ever after. Meanwhile, the perfectly acceptable dudes in their friend zone keep getting rejected because they don't fit that perfect Disney character mold. So there's a lot of women who view themselves as a princess, a Disney princess, and they're waiting for their Disney Prince Charming to come along and sweep them off their feet. And they won't accept anything less, which is why we have a lot of single mothers who are wondering where all the good men are at now. How come a guy won't commit to me when I have 2, 3 children from failed marriages that didn't work with the last guy? Where are all the good men at? Oh, by the way, I'm taking my kids to Disney World for vacation. Oh, by the way, I'm going to go to Disney World with my girlfriends and we're going to leave the kids and we're going to dress up like sluts at Disney World and pretend to be Disney princesses at Disney World. This fantasy, this fantasy helped destroy the family unit. These family movies help destroy the family. Part of the elite's job is to destroy the family unit. They want to break up strong family units, of course. And so, through Hollyweird, through sick Hollyweird movies, such as these Disney cartoons, we now have little girls growing up thinking that they're princesses and that they deserve this tall, awesome, strapping man to come along and sweep them off their feet and give them this Disney form of unrealistic love that really doesn't even exist. And so they wonder why they can't find this. And then they think that they belong on this pedestal. So a lot of these women think, "Oh, I'm a princess. Where's my Prince Charming?" And so you have regular dudes out there who are good dudes who actually will chase these women in their 20s and 30s and get rejected over and over again because they don't quite fit the mold of what the Disney princess views as her knight in shining armor, as her strapping prince. And so it's permeated in a lot of ways, this Disney princess culture, to where now a Disney princess can go on TikTok and say, "Oh my God, where are all the good men at? Like, oh my God, guys are disgusting now, and guys are pigs, and you should treat us like the princesses that we are." And then there's hundreds of thousands of dudes like, "I'll be your prince. You're my princess," giving them validation. It's all by plan, of course. All by plan. This didn't happen by accident. None of this shit happened by accident. It's all by plan. Now, with that said, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat some meat. I'm going to feed Rusty some meat. Rusty likes meat too. Can you imagine that? Dogs like meat. Man's best friend is dog. I like meat. Humans like meat. My best friend likes meat. You want to eat some meat, Rusty? Come on. Come on. Ooh, there he is. There's Hoosty. There's the good dog. He wants his meat. Nom. Like, he wants some meat. Who wants some meat? Meow, 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 meow. Rusty eats his meat too, because he's a good dog. Yeah, I know Rusty's cute. You don't have to tell me he's cute. I know he's cute. That's why I picked him out, because he's so damn cute. This dog is so cute that people walking by will stop in their tracks and be like, "Oh my God, your dog is so cute." And I'm like, "I know. That's why I picked him out, because he was the cutest damn dog." he's he's totally giving me the cute eyes right now. Look, here he is down here. See? Look. See? Uh, so, for those of you out there who've never tried eating any raw meat, I suggest you try it. All you got to do is just try a teensy piece. That piece has a piece of fat hanging. It doesn't look that good. Just try a teensy piece. Just the teensiest piece of meat. All you have to do is just try it. And then you'll realize, oh, that doesn't hardly taste like anything. And then you'll send signals to your brain, oh, okay, that tastes like beef. In fact, the taste is pretty mild and it kind of just tastes like rare steak because it is. It's what it is. So you'll basically be reminded of the last time you had some rare steak and you'll taste that same flavor, just minus the salt and the pepper and anything cooked onto it. So if you had a piece of steak with salt and pepper and then you cooked it, you're still going to taste basically that same flavor minus the salt and the pepper. You're still going to taste a beef flavor. And so people have this preconceived notion. They're like, oh, it's going to be so bad or disgusting. No, it's not. There's not much flavor to it. In fact, it's pretty underwhelming. There's more flavor in a barbecued, seasoned steak than there is a raw steak. And that's because you're seasoning it. And so if you don't season the meat and you just eat it raw, it's pretty underwhelming. There's not a lot to it. So you basically, when you eat a raw steak like this, you're doing it more for the nutrition rather than the pure flavor. So if I was to salt and pepper the steak and then go throw it on the barbecue, I'm going to like that flavor too. I think barbecue steak tastes really damn good. In fact, sometimes I buy the steak and I specifically barbecue it because I specifically want that cooked charred flavor. So I enjoy cooked meat, but I also know that the more I cook the meat, the more I'm going to destroy the meat, the less nutrients there'll be. And so for optimum health, I make sure to eat raw meat without cooking it at least a few times a month so that I get that raw animal fat in my system. I get that raw protein in my system because every time you cook meat, even if you just cook it a little bit, you are destroying the nutritional content of the meat. So cooking food destroys it. It changes the makeup of the food. And so the same way, if you start lighting your hand on fire, you're going to destroy your skin. You're going to destroy your hand. You destroy the makeup of the structure of the protein and the fat. And so the healthiest way to consume beef is raw. And you'll actually get the most nutrition out of consuming beef raw. Now, it's not going to be as flavorful and awesome as if you were to salt and pepper this and toss it on a charcoal grill. In my opinion, when you barbecue any meat, it takes that flavor up a notch. But I also, at the same time, realize that I'm also destroying the nutritional content of the meat. So you have to ask yourself, how much do you care about flavor versus how much do you care about actual nutrition? If I put salt and pepper on this piece of meat and then cook it, it's going to be more flavorful but less nutritious. I don't need a bunch of salt in my diet, and you definitely don't need peppercorns. Peppercorns are definitely not good for you. So putting salt and pepper on a piece of meat definitely doesn't make it any more healthy. It'll just make you think that it's more flavorful, but really the flavor is just coming from a rock, which is salt, it's a rock, and then peppercorns, which are actually not good for you. In fact, when you get that peppery reaction, the spicy reaction that causes your mouth to burn, that's actually a bad reaction that's meant to tell you to stop eating that. So funny that I'll put salt and pepper on a piece of meat, and I know that the pepper's not healthy, and I know that the salt's not healthy, and I know that eating it raw is the most healthy way to eat it, but still sometimes, for the sake of wanting flavor, I will salt and pepper a steak and barbecue it. So I don't want you guys to think that all I do is eat raw meat, because I like cooked meat too. But if it comes down to nutrition, uh, raw is the most nutritious. There's no way around it. And I've eaten raw meat on my stream several times. I'm not the only one who's done this. So if this is your first time seeing someone eat raw meat and you're grossed out, all you got to do is type in eating raw meat, and you'll see thousands and thousands of examples of humans consuming raw meat. In fact, this was how our ancestors did it. Cooking meat is actually something more relatively new. If you go back thousands of years, hundreds of years even, humans were not cooking all their meat. In fact, most meat and fat and organs were consumed raw. Dragonfire says, how's your cholesterol? Cholesterol is also tied back to a NWO diet myth. And so, what the NWO diet myth wants you, the myth wants you thinking is that cholesterol is bad. The actual truth is that you want cholesterol. You want raw butter. You want bacon. You want steak. You want to be eating fatty meats. So, the more fatty meats you eat, the more cholesterol you get in your body, the better. And so, the myth goes like this: cholesterol causes heart problems. No, that's not true. And there's absolutely no proof that eating animal fat causes cholesterol, which causes heart problems. In fact, your brain is made out of cholesterol. So it actually makes more sense that if you want to repair your brain and have a healthy functioning brain, that you want more cholesterol in your diet, because your brain is fucking made of cholesterol. If you want collagen, if you want in your diet, eat some meat. If you want your skin to look good, eat some meat. Classic Americana says it would be more nutritious to eat the meat off the animal while it's still alive. Yeah, but then you also have to worry about the animal fighting back. And so trying to take a bite out of a cow while it's alive doesn't seem like such a good idea. And if you look at some of the people who promote the NWO diet, you have billionaires like, for instance, on Shark Tank, you have Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. So Mark Cuban, he's a billionaire, and this dude promotes the vegan diet and buys up vegan companies exclusively. He pretty much, if someone walks in, if someone walks in with a vegan product, he sits right up, starts rubbing his hands. He's usually the guy that will bid on a vegan product, and so anyone who comes in like, I'm here selling my vegan chicken, he'll be like, yeah, let me make you an offer. If they're like selling, anything vegan related, Mark Cuban is usually all over it and wants to buy it and make him an offer. And so when you have these billionaires going out of their way to promote veganism, you have to ask yourself why. Is it because they care about your health and they want you to be healthy, and plants are just so healthy, so eat plants? That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. You know why? It's because it's bullshit. So when they want you to eat plants, it's because that's a slave diet. Do you guys know how much this piece of meat cost? Just this piece of meat? I had to find it on sale for $10. It was $9.99. It was on sale. Do you know how much it was before it went on sale? $16. So I got this because it was about to expire. I got it for $10 because they were going to throw it out within another day or two. So I got this for $10, but it was $16. $16. They're trying to price it out of your budget because it's healthy, because it's good for you. They don't want you and me and everybody all eating a raw ribeye. They don't want you to eat a good, awesome raw ribeye like that one with some nice marbling, with this good marbling in it. They don't want us all eating that, especially not the grass-fed organic. This isn't even grass-fed organic. This is just a supermarket ribeye. If I was to go try and find an actual like grass-fed organic ribeye, I would be paying, I don't know, like $25, $30 for a piece of meat. Why so expensive? Because it's healthy. And they don't want you to eat that. So go buy some kale. Go eat some lettuce. Eat some Frankenstein broccoli. Drink some almond milk. Do you know how much raw milk costs? Like $10 a gallon. In some stores, $15 a gallon. More than gas. Raw milk costs more than gas. $14, $15 a gallon at Sprouts for the raw milk. They don't want you to drink it, stupid. That's why it's that expensive. So that your common stupid shitbag who goes to Walmart, it never crosses their mind to even think to buy that. Instead, they'll have you going over to that plant section and buying lettuce and kale, thinking that you're healthy. No, Jake, eating raw corpses is bad. You should eat Frankenstein plants. There's always somebody trying to tell you to eat Frankenstein plants. And I'm the only one that tells you that I know of that Frankenstein plants don't exist in nature. I've been out in nature. I've went for walks in the forest. I've never fucking found any broccoli or any of these Frankenstein plants that come from the fruit and vegetable aisle. None of that shit exists out in nature. Go for a walk out in nature. Nature of any kind. The forest, the desert, wherever you consider nature. Go for a walk and try and find some edible fruits and vegetables. You're going to fail. There's a bunch of wild plants, but if you try and eat wild plants, you'll get sick and probably die. You'll get sick enough to not try that again. So I always challenge a vegan to get down on the ground and eat a bucket of grass. Eat some random leaves off the trees. Come on, vegan. Prove your diet to me. Prove that I'm the crazy one eating the raw meat. And go out there for a walk in the forest and eat some pine needles. Grab some leaves off of an oak tree and munch away, Mr. Vegan. I dare you to get down like a cow and eat a bowl of grass, Mr. Vegan. Oh, they don't want to do that. No way. That's crazy. But you know, it's not crazy, according to a vegan, to go to a grocery store, pick out some kale, and pick out some bananas, and pick out all these man-made vegetables and fruits, and then stick them into a blender and blend it all up into this mush concoction and then drink that and think that you're being healthy. Meanwhile, if you go for a walk in actual nature, none of those things exist. You can't find them. None of those plants. And the plants that do exist protect themselves with toxins and poisons and thorns and shit. So the only fruit you're going to go find is wild berries, pretty much. And wild berries are only ripe for like a month out of the year. And if you eat too many wild berries, you'll get diarrhea. So if you think you're going to eat a bucket of blackberries and feel wonderful, well, go try it. Eat a bucket of blackberries for dinner. Nothing else. Just try eating a bucket of blackberries. Try it. Tell me how you feel. Uh, Simon Stegny says, just turned in. Always nice to see you making sense for a living. Keep it up, man. I never really understood people being vegan. Yeah, it's an NWO death diet, and it's being pushed on people. And you have to manipulate people and tug at their heartstrings and convince them killing animals is wrong and that no animal should die. And so my rationalization is, what about when a big fish eats a small fish? What about when a lion kills a gazelle or whatever? And then they're like, oh, well, that animals are allowed to eat other animals. But since you're a human and you can make the decision not to eat other animals, well, then you shouldn't do it. Which is just absolute mental illness, is what it comes down to. Hey, thanks for the donation, buddy. I appreciate that. And so I have fought people over this subject tooth and nail because there are people who say shit like, "Oh, no, you're supposed to eat a balanced diet." What does that mean? You're supposed to eat those man-made fruits and vegetables that don't exist out in nature, like you call that balanced? No. You can literally cut that shit out forever and you're going to be more healthy. Do you guys know that I don't eat broccoli or any vegetables anymore? But I used to think it was healthy. There was a time I used to buy broccoli, not like it, but then I would cook the shit out of it, saturate it in butter and salt, and then I would eat it. Because I found that if I cooked the fuck out of broccoli and then I dumped a bunch of butter on it and salt, then it was edible. But it was not edible any other way. Literally, broccoli is gross. It's terrible. It's vile. Just looking at it should turn you off. The only way I could even get it in my system was to cook the shit out of it until it was mush and dump butter on it. You know, dairy. And then another thing I found out, my mom started buying margarine instead of butter, and I let that slide for several years, not knowing that margarine is basically just plastic and canola oil and just grossness. It's plant oil. So don't buy plant oil margarine. Plant oil margarine is poison. Anything that's fake butter or fake meat is poison. So if they take any plant and try and turn it into a dairy product, it's poison. Don't eat it. And there's people thinking that they're making the healthy decision. Like the women in my family are dumb, so they think if I eat butter, I'll get fat. So I'm gonna eat margarine because I'm smart. These are the same dumb people that think diet soda is better than regular soda. So if you're still at the retard level where you think that margarine is better than butter, plants are better than meat, well, you probably are not as healthy of a person as you want to be. I'll bet. OS says make your own butter. Yeah, have you ever actually made your own butter or had homemade butter? It doesn't even taste like store-bought butter. What you buy at the store that they call butter doesn't taste like what you would end up with. If you buy raw milk and churn the fuck out of it, like you take the cream out of raw milk and then churn the fuck out of that cream and actually have real butter, and you scrape that and add your own salt and put that on a biscuit, it's a total different experience. You're like, oh my God, now I understand why people love butter. Butter's amazing. If you do butter correctly, you have actual real butter, raw real butter. It's night and day. In fact, anyone calling margarine butter, I almost want to slap them in the face. Like some of the women in my family will put like I can't believe it's not butter or some crappy plasticky margarine on the table. And they'll be like, "Can you pass me the butter?" It's like that's not butter. You deserve to be slapped for calling it that. You got to remember, being healthy is one of the biggest conspiracies in the world. That's because the elites want you to be unhealthy. And furthermore, the health industry, it relies on sick people and stupid people so that they could drain your money. So if you were to make more correct decisions in what you eat and what you put into your body, that's less people who would go to the hospital, less people who would have their money stolen through the crooked medical industry. So if you were to cut the medical industry out of your life and take care of your body and make that one of your number one concern, take care of your body, don't buy health insurance, don't ever go to the doctor, don't go for checkups, don't go for any goddamn reason at all. Cut hospitals and doctors and veterinarians, cut them all out of your life as much as possible, unless it's like a death situation or you have a bone protruding out of your body and you have to have a medical procedure done, whatever. Try to stay away from hospitals. I personally don't have health insurance and I don't go to hospitals and I never go for checkups. I don't want anyone to try and tell me that something's wrong with me and even suggest that I need to start taking some sort of medication or that I need to have this done or that done. Not even going to let that be an option. I'm in charge of my body. I'm in charge of my health. And when I look around, I'm in a lot better health than most of the people I know. So when I tell people I eat raw meat and they're like, oh, you're crazy. I look at how healthy they are versus me. Generally, I'm the more healthy fella. When I tell people that I don't believe in the C word and I don't think it exists, the people who claim to have had it, they tell me I'm just lucky that I haven't had it because I'm healthy. There's people who believe they've had the boogeyman disease who are my family members and friends. And I tell them, no, they haven't, that they're just brainwashed into thinking they've had it. And they swear to me, oh no, Jake, I have had it. I went to the hospital and they told me that I have it. So therefore, I know that I had the boogeyman disease. And so people will believe whatever a hospital tells them. And they'll think that the person at the hospital, such as the doctor, is smarter and knows more than they do about their own body because they went to school, because they have this title as doctor. So therefore, they know more than you do about your own body. And when they come across somebody like me who doesn't go to the doctor, doesn't trust the doctor, purposely does not go get checkups, purposely does not have health insurance, they have to say shit like this. Oh, Jake, it's because you're just a young, healthy guy. But eventually you're gonna you're gonna get the boogeyman disease. Eventually, the bad stuff is gonna happen. Eventually, if you keep eating raw meat, it's gonna get you. Eventually, Jake, you're gonna be unhealthy. Eventually. So I'm 38 years old, almost 39, basically 40, and people tell me you're just one of those young healthy guys. So what you say doesn't matter. Your advice is subjective, Jake, because you're just one of those young healthy guys. So the women in my family, I say the women because it's mostly all just women in my family at this point. The men are dead. The women in my family and even a lot of friends who I have who are sheeple, they refuse to look at the fact that I'm a healthy dude who goes against mainstream health time and time again, and they choose to say that the only reason I'm healthy, haven't been sick with the boogeyman disease, is because I'm young and healthy. But what are you going to say when I'm 50? What are you going to say when I'm 60? You're just lucky, Jake. Is that what you're going to say? So because I'm only 40, I get told the reason this doesn't kill me or make me sick is just because I'm a lucky, healthy young fella. But when I get older, I'm going to have to start looking out for my health. But right now, I'm just getting away with doing this stuff because I'm some sort of lucky, young, healthy fella. So people who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, they're like, I can't do that, Jake. That crazy stuff you do? No, I'm going to listen to my doctor because my doctor knows best. I won't listen to a crazy guy like Jake who defies mainstream health, who had people cough in his face, still never got the boogeyman disease. I'm going to trust mainstream experts, quote unquote, over some crazy guy on YouTube. Okay, do that. Go trust those mainstream experts. Drink your almond milk. Drink your plant-based protein powder. Tell me how it works out for you. Meanwhile, you're going to have to make excuses for the fact that I'm healthy as fuck and feel amazing, even though I do all this stuff that mainstream health experts would tell you is crazy and to never do. All right. For instance, here's a couple non-refrigerated eggs. Not even refrigerated. I don't even put them in the refrigerator anymore. I'm gonna go ahead, pop one into this measuring cup. Whoop. Whoa. Now I'm just gonna drink it raw. See? And there's mainstream health experts that will tell you that I could die of salmonella poisoning. Right? Whoop. Oh shit, I just spilled some egg on my keyboard. Ew. I got egg on my keyboard. Look. I probably should have got a bigger measuring cup. Now, the old me would have been like, oh no, I got egg on my keyboard. I need to sanitize the whole thing. Oh, there's salmonella on my keyboard. Wah. Whereas now, I just wipe it off with an old dirty rag. I don't even give a shit. Like spilled some here on my desk and I don't even care. Just gonna wipe it with an old dirty rag. Call it a day. There's this goopy mess I just made on my own desk. Now, see, the old me would have been creeped out and thought, oh no, I have salmonella on my hands and I have to like sanitize my hands. Da, 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 da. Nah, you don't. It's fine. It's fine. So, see, I just drank 2 raw eggs and I've been eating a raw ribeye Here, Rusty, you want some more? Here, Rusty. And so basically, I've done this over and over and over and over, and nobody can point and say, oh, look, his health is deteriorating. Oh, look, Jake, it looks sickly and ill. If anything, I think I look a lot healthier than the flat earth shills. I look healthier than Eric Dubay. I look healthier than David Weiss. I look healthier than Jaron. I look healthier than ODD. I look healthier than all those shills. Some of the worst looking shills are the ones who promote the vegan diet the hardest. Go take a look at a hardcore vegan like Santos Bonassi, and you'll see a flat earth shill who uses the debunked AE map, promotes a NWO vegan death diet, and guess what? He looks like a skeleton. He looks like a very sickly, ill human being. Dragonfire says eggnog is loaded with raw eggs and nobody ever gets sick from it. Same with like cookie dough. Dude, I like cookie dough better than I like cookies sometimes. Like if you have raw chocolate chip cookie dough and I spot it, I will systematically eat all the raw cookie dough until I make myself sick. And the only reason I'll make myself sick is because I'll eat too damn much of it. So it's like I've eaten so much cookie dough, but it's never actually like made me like sick or like ill. Um, so actually, when I made my joke there, I said I'd eat cookie dough until I got sick, but no, I actually have eaten raw cookie dough many, many times and never gotten sick from it. And every time I would eat raw cookie dough as a kid, like my mom or somebody would be like, "Don't do that. There's raw eggs in there." And I always remember really wanting to eat it and being told not to do it because there's raw eggs in there. And then as I got older, I remember one time I ate like an entire log of Toll House raw chocolate chip cookie dough. I ate like an entire log, like still alive, didn't kill me. Dragonfire says, I ate a tube of cookie dough, no problem. It's not a healthy thing to do. If you're looking for nutrition, I don't recommend that you eat a bunch of raw cookie dough. All I'm saying is if somebody has raw cookie dough around, I can't help myself. Here's the deal. I know what's healthy and I know what's not healthy. And sometimes I still can't help myself from making unhealthy choices. In fact, at a New Year's party, I went to this New Year's party and this lady put out a bunch of different snacks. And she had this bowl of pistachios, and then she had a bowl of little miniature peanut butter cups. And here's the problem: I love pistachios and I love Reese's peanut butter cups. I know that they're not good for me, especially the peanut butter cups. I know they're not good for me, but if you put Reese's peanut butter cups out in the vicinity of me, I'm going to eat them. I can stop myself from going to the store and buying them. But if you buy Reese's peanut butter cups and then invite me to a party and then you stick them on the fucking counter, I'm inclined to eat them. And so I was at this party and they had two things that I could not stop eating. So every time I walked over, I'd be like, ooh, handful of pistachios. And let me grab another Reese's peanut butter cup. And so after I had probably like 4 or 5 handfuls of pistachios and probably like 5 or 6 Reese's peanut butter cups, and then drink like 5 or 6 beers, I was like, uh-oh, now I don't feel good. And I basically have myself to blame. So here I am, a guy who knows what is healthy and what is not, and I still will make a terrible decision and eat pistachios and Reese's peanut butter cups until I basically am about to puke. And so, what I'm telling you is use your own body as your experiment. You're the one who knows what makes you feel good. You're the one who knows what drains your energy, what gives you energy. You're the one who knows how good you look when you eat what certain diet. So I've figured out what works for me. And even though I know what is healthy and what is not, I still sometimes will make a bad decision. And so bad decisions happen. We all do it. We're all guilty, I'm sure, in some way or of another, of eating something that we wish we wouldn't have. And so trying to walk a perfect narrow path and be like a Jesus of the food eating world is damn near impossible. So I'm not going to sit here and try and tell you that I only make perfectly amazing healthy decisions, because I still eat fast food once in a while. I still will eat a random ice cream sandwich from 7-Eleven. I'll still make a decision on, to eat Reese's peanut butter cups until I'm about to puke. So even though I know what is and is not healthy, we all make mistakes. We're all inclined to fall off the wagon once in a while and make a bad decision. But it's all in how you deal with that in moderation. Like you have to know, okay, Reese's peanut butter cups are not good for me. So don't make a habit of doing that. So if only once a year you make yourself sick with Reese's peanut butter cups, that's not as bad as if you're doing it on a daily basis. I guess that was my point. I don't even know at this point. All right. I've been on here for 2 hours, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this stream. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Make sure to hit the thumbs up if you haven't already, and I'll maybe do another stream in another day or so. I just need to think of some more topics, and we'll be back streaming before you know it. So until next time, this has been just another opinion, or many opinions, from Jake the Asshole. And if you guys want to donate directly to this channel, you can donate directly to my PayPal right here. I'll put the link in chat. So if you donate to PayPal, I get all of the donation, and YouTube doesn't get a dime. So if you do super chats, YouTube takes a cut. But if you donate here, to my PayPal, it's in the chat right there. If you donate to the PayPal, I get all the donation, and YouTube won't get a plug wood nickel. All right, guys, until next time, this is Jake the Asshole. I want to thank you guys for supporting this channel, supporting the truth. I want to thank everyone who participated today, whether I got to your comment or not. Thank you for participating. Whether you donated or not, thank you for being here. I know not everyone can afford to donate, so I just appreciate you guys being here, supporting the truth, and it makes me feel better just to have people to talk to and bounce these ideas off of. You guys really are a wonderful audience, and I am happy to have you, because without you, I would be going crazy without anyone to talk to about all these wonderful subjects. So thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you guys maybe tomorrow or the next day. I'm going to do more live streams. It seems that live streams are what you guys want to see, and it seems that the live streams are getting the most views, bringing in the most money. So it only seems right that I do like a weekly stream, multiple times a week now. Maybe I'll even do like a daily stream. So I'll look into doing a daily stream, like a Monday through Friday stream at a certain time. So maybe we can have like a time slot where you guys know you're going to see a live show, and we'll give that format a try. Maybe see if that works. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. I'm getting tired. I'm going to take my dog for a walk, chill out. And until next time, this is Jake Asshole saying peace and chicken grease.